Hit me with some knowledge.
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 I don't have much of that, but I do have very hype intros.
Hit me with some charisma. Yeah.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Behind the Plays. I am your host, Davion. With me, as always, is the co-host, the best guy, Eric.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me, Davion.
Always. I'm glad you're here.
It's a pleasure to be here.
You know what? I've been listening to podcasts now when I go to work.
Yeah.
And my favorite podcast now is The Old Man and the Three, which is JJ Redick.
Mm-hmm.
JJ Redick's podcast. And he brings basketball players on and, interviews them and, talks to them. And it has by far been one of the best experiences listening to it because you get such a behind the scenes from an actual player that played through college basketball and NBA has been in the spotlight. He's done that.
Right.
He was a star at Duke, and he was a role player in the league. He wasn't elite.
I mean,
he was
yeah.
one of the best shooters I've ever seen in my life, though. And I love JJ Redick.
Mm-hmm.
Sad he retired, but very happy he got to watch him play. And I've been watching him from the beginning. I've been listening from the beginning, and he interviewed. I'm on the Jason Tatum episode now, and they were in the bubble, and it was right after Kobe died. So it was it's one of the greatest. Hearing how they talk to each other as NBA players who've played against each other, it's great. It's genuine, great content.
That's super cool stuff. It's
yeah, I love it.
Getting to hear those behind the play. That's what I like. I like a bunch of those football shows. I don't really listen to podcasts per se, but I like Rich Eisen and I don't mind Colin Cowherd. I like hearing the absurd things that he says.
Yeah, he says some wild shit.
Yeah, it's I mostly listen to Colin Cowherd because I like to hear the absurd things he says.
Yeah, Colin's funny.
I love Skip and Shannon, of course.
I mean, who doesn't? Undisputed,
right,
that show's go. That's also one of the podcasts I listen to, even though it's the
I
show's
love Shannon Sharp for
uploaded.
personal reasons too, because he was a
Sharp's
Bronco,
a legend.
and that was one of my dad's favorite players and everything like that. So.
And Skip Bayless, I give Skip Bayless a lot of crap because he's a Cowboys fan, but dude kind of has some
because he's a weasel.
He's not the dumbest sports podcaster on the planet.
No, there's worse.
He's had some absurd takes, but he also has some pretty darn good takes. I'll give him some props.
Why can't I think of his name? He's right there.
I couldn't tell you.
It's
Colin Cowherd has some crazy takes.
I know. I need to think of homeboy.
You know who I think is kind of funny?
He's mostly a basketball guy, but he does football too.
I can tell you, Ryan Hollins is a terrible, terrible person when it comes to basketball takes. I can't think of another guy that does basketball outside of Stephen A. Smith.
That's who I'm thinking of.
That makes sense. He's terrible when it comes to football. Has really good basketball takes, but needs to stay out of football.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking of. I'm he has probably some of the most absurd things.
Anyway, Stephen A. Smith, listen, I've been trying to get a job at ESPN. If you want, you can put in a good word for me. I do like you.
I like my
job.
But
I will outclass you at your job. Just let me know.
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine I get a call the night tomorrow?
Yeah.
Hey, take that shit down. Get a DM from ESPN. Hey, yo, you gotta chill, brother. Anyway, we're gonna invite you on to ESPN Chicago.
Right, yeah. No, I like some of the the morning shows and stuff like that too. I love Nate Burleson.
Oh yeah, of course.
As well.
Yeah. You know why? Dan Orlovsky.
Dan Orlovsky irritates
He's fun.
me.
He's so much fun. I like him.
Yeah.
He's hilarious.
I know, but here's the problem with Dan Orlovsky, okay? Because every time I hear him talking and it makes sense, and I just see him when he was playing for the Lions, stepping out of the back of the end zone and self-safetying as he was being chased by Jared Allen. He was one of the probably 6 or 7 quarterbacks the Lions had that year. They went 0-16.
That's tough.
And he was the one who stepped out of the back of the end zone when Jared Allen was chasing, and Jared Allen was like, "You're mine, you're mine, you're mine." Oh, all right. Dub.
That's funny, dude. That's rough.
Yeah, I can't not see Dan Orlovsky doing that. I'm pretty sure.
He's funny though. He's solid. He's solid on commentating.
Yes.
But speaking of commentators, I think we're gonna get a future commentator.
I looked up Dan Orlovsky and went to Google Images. Literally, the first picture is him on the Bucks, apparently. But the second picture is Dan Orlovsky running around with a football in a Lions uniform, and there's a referee behind him.
Was he a quarterback?
He was a quarterback, yeah.
Dog, he is small.
Yeah, it's just a picture of Dan Orlovsky running with the ball in a Lions uniform and the referee behind him giving the signal for a safety.
That's tough.
Yes, okay,
But
that was Dan
speaking of,
Orlovsky. I just didn't want to spread misinformation. I'm like, I'm pretty sure
No,
that's
that's
Dan
okay.
Orlovsky.
That's
It was
okay.
Dan
No,
Orlovsky.
this is why I bring you on the show, because you're the one that spreads the least amount of misinformation.
Yes.
It's usually me.
There you go. I'll send you the
You're my
picture.
fact checker. Ah.
I love Jared Allen's face. He's like, this dude really just did that, didn't he?
No, that makes sense. That is Dan.
Yeah. Yeah, so I like Dan
Yo.
Orlovsky, but every time I look at him, I'm like, but
That's
do you
tough,
really know
yeah.
what you're talking about? Because you did
Do you
that.
know what you're talking about? Because you made
did
some
that.
stupid decisions. But we had some funny news, some grim news, unfortunately. Literally the day after I freaking up, literally we were recording.
I know,
and I was like, I swear to God. I was like, I swear to God, if Tom Brady
Like,
retires tomorrow, I'm gonna be so upset.
like
and what the hell happened?
6.5 minutes in, we're like, Tom Brady could retire tomorrow.
I'm
But
so
you want to know the
mad.
best part is he didn't. He did.
Technically, he did, but he didn't.
He did, but according to Adam
It was like a
Schefter,
week
Tom
later.
Brady retired.
It was like 5 days later. or
But
some
Tom
crazy
Brady was
stuff.
like, I didn't get that memo.
Hold on, wait a minute. I didn't say I was
I
retiring.
didn't hear that. I didn't get that information.
I mean, you're probably right, but let me think about it for a couple days, man. Like, dang.
Can we talk about the 2027 Hall of Fame class, though?
So, Big Ben, Tom,
Like, enough said right there.
first ballots.
First
That's first ballots right
No way.
there.
No, way
No
they're
questions asked. Who else is retiring?
not. Brandon
this
Brooks,
year.
realistically? I don't know if he's a Hall
Oh
of
yeah,
Famer.
oh yeah. No. Yeah. He's a Hall of Famer, dude. He's nuts. He's arguably one of the best players at the right guard position. Like, seriously, dude's cracked. I could see him not making it the first time and making it the second time, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand it because O linemen sometimes don't get the credit they deserve.
Yeah, you have to be really...
You have to be like Brandon Brooks was amazing, but he's not like Jeff Saturday or like Jason Kelsey or someone like that. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, those are first ballots for sure, right? And then it's like, yeah. Brandon Brooks could probably make it. Maybe not first ballot, but he should.
Well, here's
honestly.
the other thing, too, is technically there's a very realistic possibility of Antonio Brown, which...
Oh, yeah. He
There's
got
a
his
pretty
ring.
realistic possibility of Rob Gronkowski.
Oh, shoot. I didn't
There's
even
a
think
pretty
of Gronk.
realistic,
Yeah, absolutely.
technically possibility of Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, because he did re-sign,
played
and we
this
don't know
year.
if he's going to... He did play this year for, like, 3 or 4 games with the Titans or something like that.
Yes, so, like, we're looking at a really stacked Hall of Fame class.
Yeah,
for
well, in 5 years, we're going to have a nice
2027.
podcast conversation with
Yeah,
the Hall of
right.
Fame.
I know, I'm, like, looking at it because I'm like, who is up for the Hall of Fame right now? And I'm, like, looking at, a handful of them. And I know most of these, like Jared Allen,
Yeah.
Stick of the Devil.
Oh, yeah. Who's
Rondé
up for
Barber
this?
is there.
Oh, Rondé. What a player, dude.
Devin Hester is...
Oh, my gosh.
Should be a first
Wait.
ballot Hall of Famer
Wait. He's up for the Hall of Fame this year?
this year.
Oh, first ballot. No question. If Devin Hester doesn't get into the Hall of Fame first ballot for his accomplishments as a punt returner
Right, yeah.
alone is ridiculous.
Torrey Holt and Andre Johnson this year.
Torrey Holt's a nutcase as a player. He is insane. And Andre Johnson is Andre the
I
Giant
feel
for a
like,
reason.
no, Torrey Holt's been a candidate for a long time. He last played in 2009.
Dog, he should be in the Hall of Fame.
You're talking about Reggie Wayne, too.
Reggie Wayne?
Richard Seymour, Zach Thomas.
Okay.
My boy DeMarcus Ware.
Oh, absolutely. D-Ware? Absolutely.
Yes. And realistically, probably potentially Patrick Willis if he actually gets considered. But honestly, people are going to be bugging about the fact that he retired so early. But if Calvin Johnson can make the Hall of Fame, so can Patrick Willis.
Yeah.
That dude was the best linebacker in the league for 7 years.
Yeah. Absolutely. I guess if you want to get technical, you know who first year up for the Hall of Fame this year? Probably won't get in, because I don't think he will, but you know who retired in 2017? Michael Vick is retired in 2017.
Yeah, I guess this would be his year, huh?
Yeah, he's not going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
No, I don't even
I love him, but...
I don't even, well, I think, well, now that I think about it, I don't even think he could be, because I think he's, like, legally banned from associating with the Falcons at all. But, like,
Well, it's a good
minus
thing he played for the Philadelphia Eagles.
Yeah, is he an Eagles Ring of Famer at least?
I think he's one of the best quarterbacks the Eagles have ever had. He played really well while he was there.
Okay, if I'm looking at the full list of people, and just people who I know, Sean Alexander,
huge, yeah.
Mike Allstott, that was like the Bucks running back when they won their first Super Bowl. There's some great lines of Warren Sapp, because Warren Sapp was a nutcase.
Warren Sapp's, yeah, he's solid.
He was a solid dude. He was always Allstott up the gut was his favorite thing in the world. Yep. Oh, Steve Smith.
Oh, yeah. Steve Smith could get in. The problem is not all of them are going to be able to get in. So a couple of these are that we're naming because they're going to be second ballots. It's crazy.
Exactly, like Donald Driver, Teddy Bruschi.
Donald Driver.
Randall Cunningham still is a candidate right now, apparently.
When did Cunningham retire?
Justin Tuck. Donovan McNabb.
McNabb retired in like 2007. He's just now a candidate again? I'm literally just
looking at a list.
That's crazy.
Jeff
McNabb's
Saturday.
not in the Hall of Fame? Jeff Saturdays hasn't been in the Hall of Fame yet?
I think he might.
No shot.
No, he retired before Peyton did, so yeah.
There's just no way that Jeff Saturday is cracked.
Oh, no. Brian Westbrook. I was like, Brian Westbrook is literally in the Hall of Fame. I was thinking Brian Dawkins.
Oh, my gosh, bro.
Wes Welker.
Okay, he's in this class. That's why.
Wes Welker.
Wes Welker's probably going to make it.
Hines Ward. I didn't know Hines Ward was not in the Hall of Fame. I thought he was.
Also true. Jeff Saturday is a Hall of Famer this year. I'm putting it into freaking words because I just talked about him being a Hall of Famer, and there's no shot he deserves to not be a Hall of Famer.
Steven Jackson. Ocho Cinco.
Ooh, Ochi's first year. That's actually, he deserves it too.
But not everybody
he's a toss-up
though.
Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
London
Hall of Fame
Fletcher.
is wild.
That's huge.
Yeah. God, Chad Ochocinco, dude.
And like, there's a bunch of people who are on this list, but are like not gonna do it. Like,
speaking of Chad Ochocinco,
like
wait,
Jeff
okay, hold
Garcia.
on. I always mess this up because the Bengals had he was Chad Johnson before he was Chad Ochocinco.
Yes, and then now he is Chad Johnson again.
Okay, just want to make sure. I was like,
Yes.
I'm pretty sure this is Ochocinco who tweeted this because it's Chad Johnson on Twitter. On Twitter,
Is it the picture
he tweeted
of the fucking IHOP.
No. I don't care about all this. This is Eagles related.
That's funny though.
This is Eagles related. Fun, believe it or not. He tweeted about Jalen Reagor and how the Eagles fans need to chill and not give up on Jalen Reagor. He's going into his third year. Let him relax and ball out. And I was like, what?
No, I'm talking about this tweet. It was
Let me see the tweet.
He was trying to invite a bunch of people who are at the Pro Bowl to IHOP, and like nobody wanted to go to IHOP with Ojo. So
anybody know where the Pro Bowl players are staying? I'm going to their hotel to wake them up so we can all go to IHOP for breakfast. Yo, wake up, let's go to IHOP real quick. Wake up, let's go to IHOP. You know, because nobody want to hang with me.
Yes, that was funny.
Yo, poor Chad Johnson,
I know,
bro.
nobody wants to eat at IHOP with Ocho. I would love to go eat at IHOP.
You know what's even
Ocho,
crazier? I'll do you one better. I feel like I know where this IHOP is. I'm pretty sure that's if they're staying like anywhere close to, because there were a bunch of hotels that were by my house in Vegas. This looks like the IHOP by my house over there.
Oh yeah,
right, I live. Yeah, that's funny. Oh man, it might not be. It definitely could be a different IHOP because IHOPs all look the same. But
right, yeah,
it's still funny. It has to be. It has to be in Vegas because it's the Pro Bowl, right? So
yes, I would imagine it is.
Could you imagine just going out and just be like, oh, I'm just ran into everybody and their mother. Like, I'd cry if I ran into Darius Slay.
That'd be cool.
That'd be the dopest thing ever.
Too bad I'm not going anywhere near actual Las Vegas. That place gives me anxiety.
Yeah. It is a pretty cool place.
Yeah.
When you're, a gambler. Or
I'm not.
A drinker.
I'm not.
Anyway.
See, Davion, how do I put this into words? I think I'm a loser. That's what it is. I think that's what this is. I know I'm a loser, 110%.
No, you have
you
a
want to know
fiance.
you know what I do on my Thursday nights is I sit here and talk football with my buddy, which is great.
As far as I'm concerned, that makes you cool. I'm not a loser. Come on now. I have 15 million views on a freaking Instagram reel.
Davion, you know what I do for a living. I'm a loser, my dude.
Yes, but no. At the same time.
I'll be the first one to admit it. Me, loser, right here. This guy, loser. I actually physically am a loser if you want to go back into football stuff, because now I'm officially out of our pick'ems.
That is true.
So
you did lose.
Literally cannot deny that I am a loser.
Okay, well, you lost in that. I
2
did
years
win
in a
because
row.
we split.
I was brought on to this podcast to be your football expert, and what do? Lose pick'ems twice.
I want you to know I dabbed. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Okay, that hurts.
That felt good.
That did not. I disagree.
But Tom Brady, greatest quarterback ever.
Yes, he
retires.
He's done. That's what this was all about. Oh my gosh.
You want to hear something funny? His last win in his career was against the Eagles. His last Super Bowl loss was also against the Eagles.
We have to talk about the last time Tom Brady lost a Super Bowl like it's a fucking big deal. Can you imagine?
It is, because he's played in 10 of them.
Exactly. Can you imagine going to so many Super Bowls that people keep track of the amount that you lose?
Because, yeah, it's almost like there's.
I'm pretty sure they only did that for Tom Brady and Elway. That's about it.
Yes. Every time, I'm telling you, every time someone goes to a ton of appearances in the finals or something like that, they keep track of how many you lose. LeBron is the prime candidate of I got to the finals 10 times. He went like 9 straight. Not really. No, was it 9 straight? He went 8 straight. He went 8 straight. He went to 8 straight NBA finals. He went from 2011 to 2018 and won 4 of them.
I was gonna say he won like 4 of them, didn't he? Yeah.
3 of them. He won 3 of them. He won his 4th in LA. He has 4 rings.
Okay, that's what. Yeah,
he's 4 and 6 in the finals. He lost to the Spurs in 2007, which he had no business being in the first place.
That's the Patriots of the NBA.
Yeah, except, Tom Brady won 3 more or something like that.
Yeah, but I mean, I'm talking like that's the NBA dynasty this century. Let's be honest.
Yeah. LeBron is the NBA dynasty.
Yeah, exactly. Whatever team LeBron is on, but like I think that's because the NBA is such a player league. The NFL is much more of a team league.
Oh yeah, I've admitted this truly, because the minute you get a good player, the Mavericks became instantly better because Luka Doncic was drafted to the roster. Mm-hmm. Just facts. Luka overperformed.
Exactly, because you can feed Luka the ball, and Luka can carry a team to.
Luka dropped 40 points in our last game, and we lost.
Realistically, if it was Luka 1v5, I bet you he still wins at least 30.
Oh, absolutely. Luka's insane. Luka's so good at basketball; it's ridiculous, dude.
Exactly, like.
Dude makes like $40 million a year.
You can't do that in the NFL.
No.
But maybe it's starting to become that way. I mean, you look at people like Patty Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson.
Well, the thing is those type of people can make great plays, but there are still a lot of pieces that help them make those great plays. Because I saw a play with the Chiefs where Patrick Mahomes ran for his life, and 2 O-linemen demolished.
I know you want to cite the Super Bowl last year. It's a perfect example of
this. Exactly. But I saw
one who showed up to that game was Patty.
Yes, exactly. And then, in this game against the Bengals, I saw some dude get flattened on the Bengals by an O-lineman, and Patrick Mahomes got to run away and run freely because the O-lineman made a good play.
Did their job.
Not gonna lie, Mahomes made an insane play. Mahomes is insane. I'm not taking anything away from Patrick Mahomes, but just because Luka could go 1v Kobe's a prime example of this. Dude could shoot over 2 people, hit a 3, and win a game. That's how crazy things were with Kobe. Patrick Mahomes can't throw and catch the ball. He can run it, but he can't block for himself. You know what I mean? So it's so team oriented that you have to rely on other people. Well, Derrick Henry's the freaking
goat. Just
put
put Derrick Henry in the Wildcat.
Derrick Henry is the best player. Whoever's joining the Titans next year as their quarterback is not playing quarterback. He's the backup. Because Derrick Henry's running the shit. Yeah, it's Derrick Henry's show. He's proven he can throw. It's fine.
Right? Yeah.
But yeah, so Tom Brady
announced. Without Tom Brady now, the NFL's kind of lost its big 6. Because for the longest time, you're talking for the longest time, for most of the 2000s and the 2010s.
Yeah, it was
You're talking
Manning,
about Peyton,
Ben, Tom,
and probably
Rodgers,
who's probably on his way out. You're talking about probably Rivers, who's out.
Yeah, out.
I don't know.
I can't think of a 6th.
Eli?
Maybe. I mean, he is the Tom killer.
That feels like a stretch.
Yeah, but he is the Tom killer.
Yeah,
so.
I mean,
but
Romo?
Yeah, I was thinking Romo too, but it still feels weird saying that. Yeah. Anyway, But like, you gotta understand the new age. Like Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, like these are some good freaking quarterbacks, dude. Lamar, Kyler, like these are solid dudes.
I know,
the talent pool is still very much there, and we're ushering in such a new age of quarterbacks. We didn't think it was possible, but even better arms. Like
right, yeah.
Peyton was a monster. He had such a strong arm. Big Ben was so big, like he had a cannon, dude.
And they were smart.
And yes, that's what I think you told me this. Like they ushered in a new era of just intelligence. And these guys took everything and just these guys took all that as well and are enhancing it to a new level, like to different things too, which makes it cool. Lamar is doing stuff with his legs and his arm. Not to the level that Patrick Mahomes throws the ball or Josh Allen throws the ball, but both of them can run too.
Because early in Lamar Jackson's career, everybody wanted to be like, he's the next Mike Vick. He's better than Mike Vick.
Agreed.
He's literally
smarter because he's smarter already. He's smarter. He's so much smarter than Mike. I love Michael Vick. Don't get me wrong, but he is a smarter quarterback. Michael Vick threw a lot of picks because of some because he was trying so hard to make a play. Lamar Jackson doesn't do that as much.
Yeah,
it's crazy, and he's it's like how I'm gonna put it is if you're playing on the console, you're playing Madden. His right stick is better than Vic's.
Yeah,
like just juke moves better.
I know, and like Patty Mahomes has a rocket arm, and he does the most insane things. He's like a Harlem Globetrotter out there.
Dude, I swear, he's like it's insane, and it doesn't even factor in like you don't even know what to expect from a quarterback anymore because then you have second-year dude coming off an ACL tear. Crazy structural damage in his leg that was announced, and he's in the fucking Super Bowl this year.
Joe Burrow is Joe Burrow feels a little bit classic, you know?
Yes, like, Joe Burrow is crazy. Joey B is nuts.
I'm talking like the glasses and the diamonds. It's like, it's very Joe Namath.
The turtleneck, bro.
Yeah,
like he is stunning.
Exactly. Like that's what I like about Joe Burrow is he
I like
a little
Joey
throwback, you know?
Yeah, he's solid. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun to watch it, and I love the new era that we're ushering in with this. But speaking of new eras, the Dolphins had some news this week as well.
Yes, I know, and this is like a big one too.
This is huge. Brian Flores.
Like, I don't think you fix this one with helmet stickers, bud. Sorry.
Yeah, that's not possible. This is
I mean,
deep.
if these allegations are found to be true, which I think even the fact that these allegations in the first place is gonna matter.
Yeah, this is deep
because like you go through this whole judicial process and whatever happens, let's
still out there.
Hypothetically say Brian Flores is found like he's lying, whatever the situation is, right? People are still going to hate Roger Goodell for this.
Absolutely.
You know,
this is hitting deeper more than it needs to. This needs to happen, and the reason it does is because it's true. Like I mean,
if you think about the lifespan of black quarterbacks in this league, it's like, I mean, I can only think of Mike Tomlin off the top of my head, who is like, I'm talking like a historically longevity-based
that is it. I can't think of another person. I can't think of very many black
Tony Dungy.
coaches.
Tony Dungy lasted in Tampa for 3 years, and then he was with the Colts for like 6 or 7.
Yeah, he wasn't there for very long. Won a Super Bowl.
He won a Super Bowl, yeah. He wasn't there for as long as people. He was the first black quarterback to do so. It took 41 Super Bowls to do that.
Is black coach?
What did I say?
You said quarterback.
Yes, black coach. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Peyton Manning. Not today.
Yes, Peyton Manning's black. Let's be honest.
I mean, yeah, I mean, I could see it. But the thing is that Mike Tomlin. If Mike Tomlin were to get fired ever, I would feel like it was racist. Straight up, dude hasn't had a losing season since he's got there.
Yeah,
he's insane.
That's hard to justify. Like, I don't even think you could fire Mike Tomlin after one bad season at this point.
No, he's too good of a coach.
Suspicious.
There should be no reason why he's ever in consideration to be fired. Because people were talking about him being on the hot seat this year, and I'm like, dude's gonna win games. Who are you putting out on the field? I don't care. He's gonna get you like 8-8.
Yes, at least
minimum. That's. Do you know how hard it is to be like, yeah, you know, like that's insane that you could be like, yo, my coach, he's gonna make sure we get 8 wins. He's gonna make sure. Now it's like, oh, he's gonna make sure we get 9 wins.
Yeah.
Like that's crazy to think about. And they're in the playoffs. They were in the playoffs this year. They had no business being in the playoffs. They got a little help, but guess what? They didn't have a losing record either. What are they? 8, 9, 7, and 1 or something like that. Dude, this is insane. Dude is insane as a coach. And I think Brian Flores is a prime example of someone that should not have been fired. Because we even said that it was questionable. Because they went 9-8. And then what? They were almost in the playoffs last year too. They were like 10-6. Didn't they miss because of the there was like a crazy tie? Didn't they everybody go like 10-6 and then they lost out because of the tiebreaker?
Yeah.
With Indy or something like that because Phillip Rivers got the 7th seed. Right?
Right.
Something like that. They were crazy. And then like the year before that, the allegations come out that Brian Flores was they said for each game you lose, we're going to pay you $100K. Like, what? That's the biggest. That's a bigger allegation to me than anything else. Like,
yeah.
That's serious.
Well,
because
did you see that it came out that after that came out that Hugh Jackson also kind of said the same thing?
Yeah.
That happened.
I saw. Like, it's crazy.
Let's be fair. If that were true, Hugh Jackson would be a billionaire with all the games he lost. But it's still.
Who's to say he's not?
Right.
It's all in a Chinese account.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, yeah, and then the Giants got thrown under the bus for something in all this
because
too.
Belichick was texting the wrong Brian. He was texting Brian Flores and thought he was texting Brian Dable, who the Giants did hire. And apparently Elway showed up hungover to Flores's Broncos interview, is what Flores said.
Wow, that's crazy.
So it's like
they didn't take him seriously. Well, it's like they just did it because of the rule that they have to. They have to.
Rule, yes.
They have to,
Exactly. They have to interview minority coaches per the Rooney Rule, and nobody really likes it because you have the upper echelon of NFL people who are majority white, who hate the fact that they have to do it. And then you have the lower echelon of the NFL who are majority black, like 70, 75%, 80% of the NFL is black probably, right?
Yeah, because of the players.
And they don't feel like it is enough.
No, because it's not.
So it's like, I don't feel like it is enough, no.
No, because, and you see it when it, like, the coaches. Like, if you look at all the coaches, we just talked about it, like, we talked about this a couple episodes ago. Minority coaches in the league, there's what, like Ron Rivera?
Yeah.
And Mike Tomlin?
And Mike Tomlin, that's it.
That's like it. Because everybody else got fired.
Oh, no, Robert Saleh we mentioned too.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah. But if you're talking like African American coaches, exclusively Mike Tomlin. Because
Tomlin.
Flores is out, David Culley's out. I mean, and like
I'm upset for Brian Flores because he deserves a job in the NFL. He's a head coach. He's super good.
No, like there's no reason he should have been gone from the Dolphins.
No, even if he's not in the Dolphins, he deserves to
putting out on the field, and the Dolphins nearly missing playoffs twice.
Narrow. They went 9-8
after being one of the laughingstocks of the NFL.
They were 0-7. Start the season, they won 9 of their last 10 games.
And you get fired.
And missed the playoffs. And he got fired. Yeah, fun.
Like, no, it's.
Basically doing what he told them to do, what he was told to do.
Exactly.
If that.
I mean, because
let's get a higher draft pick. Who cares? Your pick is with the Eagles.
If you think about all the coaches who were fired this year, it's like Brian Flores was kind of like the really why.
Yeah, I think we both said why. I mean, I guess
we're both like Brian, because we'll think about the two that almost didn't make sense: Brian Flores and David Culley.
Yeah, because David Culley was the Texans coach. Yeah,
it's like.
Yeah, and that didn't make sense either.
Yeah,
what the fuck did you expect from him?
That's a transitional position. And like,
yeah, and that was a little screwy because they should have given him one more year. Like 2 years is okay.
Back than that, pre-Cliff Kingsbury. Do you remember the Cardinals coach Steve Wilkes? He
lasted
1 year.
Yeah,
and he had no reason to not.
Yeah, this is a little deeper than I think we want to make it than it needs to be.
This was the Josh Rosen Cardinals. They won like 6 games.
Yeah.
After losing $1 billion the year before.
Yeah.
Steve Wilkes should have still been a coach in this league.
Yeah, this is rough, dude. I'm realizing how
bad
this
and
is
you
for
think
the
about
NFL.
and you think about a lot of the coordinators who struggle to get jobs. I can cite Eric Bieniemy right off the top of my head.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, how does he not have a job?
How does he not have a head coaching job? But I mean, think about it. It goes even deeper than this. And I was researching. I looked into this earlier today while I was at work on my break. Did you know that if you think about all the owners in this league,
they're all white.
Exclusively, Shah
Pretty sure
Khan
all of
is it. He's from Pakistan. And I looked into this. The co-owner of the Bills, it's his wife. She's from Korea. And then one of the co-owners of the Vikings is from Germany, which is not American, but not really, what we're talking about.
But it's not diverse enough.
Exactly. So you have an owner and a half who are minorities in this league.
Yeah.
So I think it goes even deeper than coaching. It's
crazy, and it's like, how are we gonna, like, what do we do to make a change here? Because
there's no easy answer.
There's not an easy answer, because at the end of the day, you still have to go through the positions, and people still have to hire people. Because, like, people like John Elway, for example, he doesn't not deserve his job, right? Like, I think he does.
No, John Elway's a legend in Denver.
Yeah, he deserves his job. Like,
but
makes sense. The only thing that I can think of that's really been the mold for, like, the only teams that really, like, solidly go after, like, things, like, the Eagles have had black quarterbacks predominantly, like Cunningham, McNabb, Vick, Wentz, Foles, and Bradford were, like, a weird break in between, but that's because Chip Kelly was a dumbass, but that's besides the point.
we ignored Chip Kelly. That was the whitest coach in the history of this league.
But the thing is I've learned that the Eagles are predominantly don't interview black people. I guess they were, like, going for there was someone else that was up for the job, and they hired Nick Sirianni instead. I didn't play attention to the interview process, but I read that, and I don't remember who it was, but it was a black coach. And I mean, at the end of the day, I think Nick Sirianni is a great coach. Interesting hire, but could the other person have done more? Because Nick Sirianni was an off-the-wall hire.
They almost hired Todd Bowles, is what it was.
That's who it was.
Because
it was Bowles.
That's another example. Todd Bowles and Byron Leftwich don't have jobs in this league yet.
Yeah, and Byron Leftwich, it might not even. He pulled out of the Jags job, and it looks like Doug Peterson's gonna get it.
Right? It's like,
what the heck is happening? Like, I don't know if that's Leftwich's fault or maybe a protest here, or he was like, I'm not gonna get it anyway, so might as well pull out.
Yeah.
Type of situation. So we'll have to see, but I'm not looking forward to. I'm looking forward to the resolution of this and some statements from teams, but the Dolphins are in a lot of water. A lot of hot water.
I mean, basically, the statements have only been so far that Brian Flores, like, these statements are not true.
Yeah.
From the Dolphins, from the Giants, from the Broncos.
Yes.
Because those were the three main teams that Flores was suing.
But it's gonna trickle down. It's gonna trickle down.
So
we know it. I know it. So we'll see. I think at least something is involved with every team.
Because I think you're gonna have people who stand with Brian Flores, coaching wise, playing wise.
Absolutely, player wise.
Because
I want to see what happens with his players, because, like, Tua.
Right?
Tua's not white. You got some good receivers over there that aren't white.
Yeah. Who? Why can't I think of his name?
I can't think of anybody
right now, but I know
Jarvis
Landry, because Devontae Parker is who I'm thinking of.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking of, too. I was like, he's not white, that's for sure.
Yes, Jalen Waddle, too. It's like...
Yeah, Waddle's... Yeah, like, they got some
Davion
crazy
Howard
things that happen.
Is one of the best corners in this league, if not the best corner in this league.
Jalen Ramsey's right there, but that's besides the point.
Jalen Ramsey's also kind of loud. I think Davion Howard is quietly the best corner in this league.
Okay, all right. We'll see.
I don't know.
But
we'll decide that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about this later. Anyway, so yeah, Brian Flores is just this situation's crazy.
Yes,
I'm hoping to hear some news the coming week so we can talk about it next podcast, because I would love to.
Yes.
If not, we'll maybe have a post Super Bowl conversation about it.
Potentially. Yeah, we're gonna call the emergency button.
Yeah, we're gonna
vote out Roger Goodell. I'm just gonna assume this is Roger Goodell's fault. When in doubt, I assume it is.
Well, I mean, this is also it's more than just him though. Like,
no,
this is seriously
so
like the owners. I feel like this needs a situation with the owners.
I'm also looking for an excuse to get rid of Roger Goodell. I'm sorry.
I mean, yeah, of course, he's handled a lot of situations way too poorly.
Yes.
To have a job.
Well, I'm glad we talked about this, because I think this is going to be momentous for the NFL in general.
Yeah, we'll see. I think this is huge for them. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Gosh,
but
what else
we have some.
What else was the big news this week besides the games?
The
commies.
I don't know, but Oh yeah, that's right. The commies. The Washington football team has officially announced their name, and they are the Washington Commanders.
How did they not see commies coming?
I'm pretty sure they tweeted it.
Yeah, it's like, that's such a bad look. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I'm not upset about it.
I kind of don't like it. Commanders feels like such an Arena League team.
Yeah, I'm not
You
gonna
know?
lie to you. I don't mind the Commanders. It's not terrible. I actually like their jerseys. I'm like one of the few. Their black jerseys kind of go stupid.
I saw those black jerseys. I'm like, oh, that's kind of cool. I like the
The
alternate.
black
jersey.
ones are kind of cold. The white ones are and then the maroon ones are dope too. I like the black ones are cold though. Those are the coolest jerseys.
Yeah.
Those are some of the coolest
But
jerseys.
I'm just saying, Red Tails was right there.
Red Tails was right there,
was
and I was actually rooting for that
perfect name.
one. That was the good one. I was hoping for that one.
And they went with Commanders, which I get it. I mean, it's like you're also in Washington, so you're talking about the commander in chief, quote unquote, right?
Yeah, so like I understand where they're coming from, but it's like
it always felt weird to me that if you talk about like the big four sports, right? You have the Nationals for baseball and the Capitals for hockey,
yes,
and then you had the
Commanders.
Redskins, and now you have the Commanders,
which goes into it, and now the
which is
Wizards.
weird because it's like you have the Wizards now, and now the Wizards
Big
are
Four.
out of place.
The big four: the Nationals, the Commanders,
the other
the
thing
Capitals,
too,
and the Wizards.
Is that the Wizards, Nationals, and Capitals all shared that kind of like red and blue color scheme. Not so much the Nats, because they were like red and white, but still.
Yeah, it's like red, white, and blue color scheme.
The Redskins, then the WFT, then the Commanders all felt out of place.
Yeah,
and they still kind of do.
used blue. They've never used blue, so that's what makes them a little different. They've been
very
maroon, yellow.
I get. Like you have to stick with the brand at this point. Like, you know that the Washington football team is maroon and yellow.
Yeah,
but maybe it could have used an entire rework.
They can still do that next season. Not next season, the season after next. You know, they've already announced their jerseys. They got everything set up. I think swap out the maroon for the red and swap out the black. The yellow for some white. Blue, and call it a day.
Potentially, it's like
I don't see a way that makes. The only thing that makes this weird is that there's the Patriots are in the league. Mm-hmm. That's kind of their thing, so it's like weird.
Even the Giants and Bills too. It's like
not as much, but like the Patriots are like patriotic.
That's true.
So it's like
but the Patriots are also the NFL team.
I don't mind
recently, at least.
I don't mind white, red, and blue on multiple teams. It's just the Patriots are the Patriots, right? And then you come in, you're the Commanders, and it's like you know.
Yeah, maybe it does kind of tread on their shoes a little bit.
Yeah, so it's like it is whatever. But I don't mind the name. I'm one of the few. The commies, please don't call them commies. I'm gonna be upset about life. But I know it's gonna be the thing from here on out. But all the dudes with the Twitter pictures with their hat on and their trucks are like, I'll never root for the commies.
Commies.
I'll never root for the commies.
I miss when they were the Redskins and I got to be racist for free.
The good old days.
Back in my day.
Back in my day, they used to be called the Redskins, and we had that black man named Donovan McNabb.
Yeah. I forgot he was on the Redskins, huh? Gosh.
Right after the Eagles. Fuck him. Right over there. He said, yeah, I'm over here. Then beat us. Twice.
I really want to get into the quarterback carousel.
Yes, I am too. So let's talk about these games real quick.
We're going to potentially talk about the first ever quarterback of the Washington Commanders.
Yes, that is true. We'll see if that actually stays true to form. But I think we should just go quick. I know everyone in the world saw these football games. Yes. There's no reason why you didn't. Chiefs at Bengals. Bengals are going to their first Super Bowl with a win over the Chiefs in overtime after the Chiefs won the coin toss.
They went to a Super Bowl in the 80s.
I'm sorry, first Super Bowl in 30 years. That's what I meant to say.
Okay, yes. Like they played. Like they got their ass kicked by the Joe Montana Niners.
True, but dang,
no, they went to two
Bengals.
Super Bowls.
Dang, there was almost a Bengals Niners rematch.
It was.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
They went to two Super Bowls.
Bengals are here. They're balling. They're excited. Joey B is balling out. He is an AFC champion, with Jamar Chase, and I'm pretty sure he has like an O lineman from LSU too. Or a lineman somewhere, a big boy from LSU is on the team too. So that team, we're going to have some LSU boys in the Super Bowl because they're going up against the Rams who beat the Niners.
The Tigers and the Bengals.
Yeah.
Go Tigers.
LSU product OBJ is going to be on the other sideline. So no matter what, an LSU receiver is getting a Super Bowl ring this year.
Yeah, no matter what.
So that's good for LSU and recruiting in the future. Just throwing that out there.
Yes.
It's good for them. But I don't have much to say about these games outside of these are really, really good games. And Jimmy G is absolutely done as the Niners quarterback.
Yes, they've already stated that they are looking for a trade partner.
Yeah, he said I'm out. He even said I'm done. Thank you
Yeah.
guys for everything. He said it himself. It's a quote.
Okay, and I also need to know, what do you think of Eli Apple, just in general?
Dog, fuck that guy, bro. I'm so sick and tired of Eli Apple, dude. Like,
But I
if
don't remember.
if Joseph Burrow wasn't on that team, God, I would cheer against the Bengals.
Yeah.
So hard. I hate Eli Apple. He's too loud for someone who gets burnt too much.
Right. It's like, oh my god.
Like, dude acted like he was getting, like, the best defensive plays in the century. Dog, Tyreek Hill had, like, 75 million yards on your head. Like, calm down.
I don't
it's
remember
not that serious.
if we talked about this or if I talked about this with somebody else on the podcast about Sean Payton's retirement speech.
Yeah.
It would have been last week because obviously that's when
I don't remember talking about the retirement speech. I remember talking about the retirement.
Because part of his retirement speech was like, he's like, I've loved every single person and player who's ever played for this Saints organization. And he's like, listen off a handful. And he's like, Eli kinda. And hold on, I gotta find this video.
He has to be like that in real life. Like, dude is ignorant to me. But I mean, we're getting an LA. So for the first time in NFL history last year, the team hosting the city hosting the Super Bowl got their team in the Super Bowl. We've had that back-to-back years. Can we talk about how crazy that is? That's never happened in like 4 years or something like that. Is this Super Bowl 55? Is this Super Bowl 55? This is Super Bowl 56, right?
Mm-hmm. I sent you the video of Sean Payton talking about Eli Apple.
So 54 years, it never happened. Then, back-to-back years, it happened. How does that make you feel?
All it takes is one person to do it, and guess who did it?
The only one and only TB.
Because he doesn't have enough under his belt. So now now the floodgates are open. And you know where next year's Super Bowl is?
It is in Vegas.
It is in Vegas.
So let's not hope the Raiders go to the Super Bowl.
I hope that the streak ends with the Rams. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, because if the Raiders go to the Super Bowl, I'm gonna hate life.
If the Raiders go to the Super Bowl, I'm not leaving my apartment for 2 weeks. Well, I'm not doing it.
It's fine if they lose.
No, I'm just not even gonna touch it.
I'm not mad at you.
I don't want to be in the atmosphere.
Yeah, I don't. That's tough.
Terrible.
But I'm really excited. Really excited for this Super Bowl. I don't really have a prediction yet because I haven't had a time to really think about this enough. So I'm really excited to see where it.
I have a gut feeling, and that's usually what
I
I
have a gut feeling too. But it's like everything is so
more.
up in the air. Yeah, it feels so up in the air.
More. It's like, yeah, I genuinely don't see this. I don't see whoever wins. I don't see him winning by more than a touchdown.
No, it's gonna be like
it's close.
It's going to be a close game. It's going to be a good game. A genuinely good game. We'll see how it goes, though.
Mm-hmm.
Last time the Rams were in the Super Bowl, they put up like 3 points. So that's not going to happen with Stafford.
Hypothetically.
Stafford isn't that bad. So we'll see how it goes. But I am excited to talk about the QB carousel with you while we're on Matthew Stafford.
Also, 49ers Rams. Rams won.
Oh, I think I said both of them, but I could be very wrong.
Oh,
Deebo Samuel is the best person on that Niners roster. It's not even close, dude. Bosa's kind of close. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you, but Kittle's kind of good too. Oh my gosh, the team is so stacked and they lost that game. That is so unfortunate, bro. Such a good team. Deebo Samuel, like they just need someone to be like Ryan Tannehill. Just get Deebo the ball. You just have to get Henry the ball.
Just do enough.
Yeah, and Jimmy G literally went above and beyond and lost
them
that game
because Jimmy G can't.
Yeah, literally they went to a scenario where Jimmy G straight up lost them that football game. It felt like it was ridiculous. Also, Matthew Stafford kind of almost choked that game away. So he almost threw a pick, and I was like, "How did you almost throw that pick?" But Cooper Kupp is also one of the greatest players in like the freaking league this year, and OBJ's popped off in the playoffs this year. So I'm gonna leave OBJ at that.
Yeah,
because we know how you feel about OBJ.
If he wins the Super Bowl, maybe it'll help. I don't know. We'll see.
I'm just saying, he's in the Super Bowl. I'm starting to think Baker Mayfield was the issue.
It could be. You mean Baker in Eli in the last 3 years of his career were actually the problem. Crazy.
Yeah, it's a crazy concept, right? When he gets with a good quarterback, he starts to play really well.
Nuts.
Yeah. And he's been mic'd up a lot. He's been kind of positive. It's crazy how positive he is.
There is no reason Cooper Kupp should be the best wide receiver in this league.
No, Cooper Kupp's nuts, dude.
But he is because of who he's with.
Matthew Stafford's nuts.
Because think about it. I mean, like last year, Cooper Kupp was an okay receiver with Goff.
Yes. He's an elite receiver.
I would have made the argument that Robert Woods was the best receiver on that team.
I would have also made that argument.
Before this year, excuse me.
Yeah.
And think about who he's with now. So, like, Matt.
Yeah.
I said this in our preseason prediction. Like, I think a lot of people thought the Rams were going to be better with Stafford. I was genuinely like, no, Stafford is the difference maker. The Rams are one of the best teams in the NFC, if not the best team in the NFC, courtesy of Matthew Stafford. Because they were already so stacked with bum-ass Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems nuts with them. It's crazy how much of a change it was. And that was one of the this was one of the best, like, acquisitions at the beginning of the season for them. You know, shipping off all their draft picks, picking up Stafford for Goff, like, it worked out.
No, yeah, I have no idea how the Rams are even doing this. I'm pretty sure their cap is in a Swiss bank somewhere.
Oh yeah,
that's the only way.
Well, OBJ and Von Miller probably took like minimums and stuff like that to make it happen.
Well, I know Von Miller's also on a 1 year.
Yeah.
Because there's rumors of him possibly going back to Denver.
Which, if you guys get Rodgers and Von Miller's playing how he's playing now,
ooh, but can you imagine, like, Von Miller basically went out on loan to the Rams to win a Super Bowl potentially.
Comes back and wins back-to-back Super Bowls because he plays with fucking Aaron Rodgers. I wouldn't know how to believe it. Von Miller's insane.
Yes.
There's one thing I know about them is that Von Miller's really good at football.
Yeah, that's my boy right there.
Yeah. Well, I know we've both been waiting for this segment. QB carousel.
Yes. Okay, we're gonna start in the AFC.
I don't know how long we're gonna take on this. We're pretty deep in, but there was a lot to talk about, and I'm genuinely really excited about the QB carousel this week. So we'll see how it goes.
All right, AFC East. I think they're, in my opinion, so the way we normally do this is, or the way we did it last year, I shouldn't say normally, like this isn't,
like this is the second time we've done it.
Yes, so the first time we did this, we went by division,
yes.
And we stated, in our opinion, who were locks, and then like who we think were 100%ers going to be the quarterback next year, and then we went through the rest.
Yes.
So I'm also going to state this now, and I've mentioned this to you.
Yes.
I'm introducing
we talked about
a new element to my predictions. It's called the Mitch Trubisky DAR.
The Trubisky clause.
The Trubisky clause. I like that better. The Trubisky clause, where any one of these randomly placed quarterbacks who realistically are backups in this league could be very easily replaced by Mitch Trubisky.
Right.
It feels like Mitch Trubisky. It feels like Mitch Trubisky is like 6 or 7 teams' second best option.
Yeah, and not only Trubisky, there's other players like that too. And I'm gonna say, like, I cannot believe I put this as this person's last name, and I hate myself for it now. For example, like Jameis Winston is one of those guys. Like Garner Minshew is one of those guys. I think those type of peoples.
Yeah, Teddy Bridgewater at this point.
Jacoby Brissett, like those type of dudes. So
yeah, those
Teddy
types
B.
of guys can go.
Forgot about Teddy B.
Yeah, can just go just about anywhere.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, so AFC East. I think there are 2 locks.
I think
I think there's one 99%er.
I guess I can understand that, but locks for sure. Bills and Josh Allen. That's the franchise quarterback. He's there forever.
That's one of the best quarterbacks in this league. He's a Bill for the foreseeable future.
Yes, exactly.
Yes. So yeah, Bills will keep Josh Allen. I think.
Who's your other lock?
I think the Jets still keep Zach Wilson.
I mean, agreed. So you think Mac Jones is the 99%er?
I do think Mac Jones is 99%er.
Why would they replace him?
There's rumors of the Patriots trying to pursue somebody. I don't think they do.
I think it'd be. I don't think it's good for them because of how Bill Belichick is.
Yeah, and I don't want to say the name. I know this name's on your list, but just in case it's not, I don't want to say the name. But there's rumors of them chasing a certain somebody.
I mean, do I care if you say it? Who? What's the rumor?
Deshaun Watson.
Oh, well, that makes sense. I could see it, but I'm not. That wouldn't work well And the reason I say that
I don't
would
think
work
so
well is
either.
because of Bill Belichick.
And yeah, I don't think Bill Belichick would work well. I think we saw what happened with Cam, which
Yeah.
Cam and Deshaun Watson are not the same quarterback at all. But they
No.
have similar-ish skill sets, and it clearly didn't work. The
And
the Patriots need somebody like Mac Jones.
Yeah. A yes man. I think Mac Jones works with that offense.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. So then that leaves the Dolphins, which this was easily out of all the teams in the AFC East the most questionable.
this is easily the most questionable. There are about 6 quarterbacks that could be here next season.
Really?
There's so many teams there's so many people that can go to this team that I think possibly can be a quarterback over here. The reason I say that is like Tua, they could easily keep Tua, right? But now with Brian Flores out, what are they going to do? I think they don't have a first round pick, but it doesn't matter because they don't need it because the quarterbacks aren't that good. So they could take someone like Carson Strong in the second round, third round, and he could start.
You can go grab like Malik Willis or something too.
Right. Exactly.
That
but
way you have somebody similar-ish to a skill set.
Exactly. But you also have people that are on the way out that you can actually trade for and be okay, like Jimmy G, I think is a viable option for them. Or even someone like Sam Darnold is a viable option. You know what I mean? So I think there's a lot of options there. Or Mitch Trubisky.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I was going to say that. I think the Dolphins are my first team that's on the is applying the Trubisky clause. Because the Dolphins can go easily get any of these people who should realistically be backups in this league if they're not confident in Tua.
Exactly.
So then, who is your official? I guess also worth noting, we didn't explicitly say this is who we predict will be the starter week 1.
Yes.
Not necessarily.
We are really
week
bad
17,
at this.
Week 18.
We've learned this so far.
We're really bad at this, yes. But it's fun.
I was so mad with the Carson Wentz trade because I had him going to Pittsburgh, and like a week later he got traded to freaking, the next day he went to freaking Indy.
Yes.
It made sense, but I really liked the Pittsburgh.
I had him
hookup
staying in Philly. Because
I think,
that was right
you know what?
after
Actually,
Nick Sirianni
we did.
was,
We had him. I had him
right
staying in Philly.
Nick Sirianni was hired, and we're just like.
I was like, oh, cool. We're gonna mend the relationship. That's perfect. And then he got traded like the next day.
Yeah. I bet you Jimmy Garoppolo gets traded tomorrow morning.
I wouldn't be surprised, and he's gonna go to.
Worth noting, we're recording this Thursday night, February 3rd. So
yes, he's not going to be where I pick him to go. That's for sure.
No, mine's such a hot take for Jimmy.
Okay, so I need to tell you all that I am off the balls, off the wall, insane with this. Okay, everything I say is false and it's not to be taken seriously. But man, if even half of these come true, I'm gonna feel like an insane human being. That's all I'm gonna say. The starting quarterback for the Dolphins. There's one thing that they are really drastically missing, and that's a playmaker. We've had so many rumors and so many negotiations and so many crazy things. I think that with everything that's happening, why not just balls to the wall? You got great playmakers. You have pretty half-decent defense. Your team won 7 straight games, won 9 of the last 10 to try to get to the playoffs, didn't make it. They're missing that it factor. Tua kind of screwed them over at the end. Who else was their quarterback? The other quarterback this year? Jacoby didn't do too hot either. So I think it's time. Go out, get him. Get Deshaun. Do it. Deshaun's week 1 starter. Let's do it.
Okay, so you say Deshaun Watson to Miami.
Let's do it. It's go time, Deshaun.
Here's why I didn't. And I'll tell you right now, I kept Tua on the Dolphins.
Okay.
Here's why I didn't. Okay. The rumors are, and because this is all circulating now, courtesy of the Brian Flores situation.
Yeah, of course.
This is all circulating now. Apparently, Brian Flores was the one who really advocated for Deshaun Watson. Apparently, Brian Flores was also the one who really advocated for Justin Herbert over Tua. And it was mostly management that wanted him to draft Tua.
Well, Tua was supposed to be their guy.
He was supposed to be their guy, and then when he wasn't, he's like, all right, can we go get Deshaun Watson? And management was like, no, Tua's our guy. So I think that's a reason why.
But I bet you
all these rumors were going around
considers
Miami.
Anything.
And
if management considers anything, they might do it.
So it seems like, in my opinion, the reason Tua wasn't working in Miami was because of the personality conflict with Brian Flores.
That makes sense.
Flores no longer there, and clearly the Dolphins management in charge of this team, because the next coach of the Dolphins, whoever it is not in charge of the Dolphins.
No,
not with what's going on right now.
No, absolutely
And
not.
I don't think they can afford the instability. So I think they just keep Tua and call it.
Which is understandable.
Yes. So I have Deshaun Watson going elsewhere.
I want Watson in Miami. That team is gonna that AFC East would be freaking nuts.
I have a hot one for Watson.
I feel like it's gonna be fun, whatever you do.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But yeah, I mean,
that's
you still have Zach Wilson, Mac Jones, right? Like those are the
And that's what's
Mac
crazy
Jones.
about the AFC East is it's so young.
Josh
Allen's
Allen's
the oldest
insane. Mac Jones
quarterback.
and Zach Wilson are rookies. So
Josh Allen's the oldest quarterback, and this will be his fourth year?
maybe,
Fifth year?
yeah, something like that.
Something like that? Yeah. Okay.
So yeah,
That takes us
All
to
right,
the
heading to the
AFC North.
there are two locks here.
There are two locks and probably a 90-ish percenter.
Yeah, I would even go. I'd drop it a little lower. I'd say 85.
Yeah, but somewhere in that, I don't. Yeah. So Joe Burrow will be the quarterback for the Bengals next year.
Yeah, he's in the Super Bowl. If he's not, then
There's
I
no way.
question
Yeah,
everything.
there's no way Joe Burrow's leaving Cincinnati.
And Lamar
That
Jackson.
man is Cincinnati at this point. And
Lamar Jackson
will be the quarterback in Baltimore next year.
When he was on the field, he won them football games. When he wasn't on the field, they lost. It's just how it is.
Yeah, no, Lamar Jackson's the difference maker. He's one of the most electric players in this league.
Absolutely.
He will be the quarterback for the Ravens next year.
Yeah, and if he's not, I'm suing.
And I'm assuming we're talking about the same 85-ish percenter in
That'd be
Baker.
Yeah, it makes perfect sense. Well, I would hope so because the only other person left would be the Steelers, and he kind of left, so can't really pick him. Yeah, Baker. Baker's my pick for the Browns.
Okay. I also have Baker for the Browns.
Makes sense.
It's not worth. Give him one more year.
Steelers.
This is where things.
I'm ready for your hot take.
I'm
ready for your hot take.
Here is where Deshaun Watson will be playing next year.
Really? Oh, Pittsburgh?
Because
Does Pittsburgh have the assets for this? Yeah.
They don't have the O-line. Is about it. Who's one of the quarterbacks?
Juju's on the way out.
Who's one of the quarterbacks in this league who could realistically mitigate that a little bit?
Deshaun Watson.
Yeah,
those two
right.
Those
like
two guys.
you, there's only a handful who can really mitigate a poor O-line.
Yeah.
They have a very talented young running back. They have a pretty talented young wide receiving core. They have a nutty defense.
Yes, absolutely.
It fits perfectly. Mike Tomlin has gone on record saying like how important it is to have a quarterback who can move nowadays.
Yeah.
Because it literally happened the day after Ben retired. It's like, man, I love Ben to death, but boy, was he stiff. And
yeah, exactly.
if there was, this is the worst reason possible, and I'm sorry I got to bring this up, but
no,
if there was ever a team who was a little bit okay with sexual assault allegations, it's probably the one who had Ben Roethlisberger for the last 10 years.
Yeah, something like that.
So I think this is a perfect
that's a great
fit.
fit. It's a great fit. It's a great fit.
Yeah, so that's my hot take. That's probably my hottest one I have is Deshaun Watson to the Steelers.
All right. Well, I have them going out and getting a quarterback that's already in the league as well. I don't know how hot of a take this is, but Mr. Sam Darnold is going to be sitting here in Pittsburgh next year.
So I think Sam Darnold is the Mitch Trubisky clause at this point.
For me, this is the only place. I mean, I could see a couple places, but this is one of the places I'm like, yeah.
I'll tell you right now, I do not have I do not have Sam Darnold on my list. I think
fine.
He is going to go be a backup somewhere. I'm sorry. I think he's done.
I think so too. I think that is his ceiling, but I think the Steelers are going to be like, they're going to be in a weird spot because Juju's gone on record saying he wants to test. Their pick, they could pick a quarterback or they could go out and get Deshaun Watson, which is fine. I don't think they're in contention for Aaron Rodgers. I think Jimmy G is maybe an option. Russell Wilson's also an option, but like I don't think they're going to get Rodgers. It's going to be weird. The only other person I can really see them going out and getting if the Raiders are up for it is Derek Carr. I think they'll be a okay fit for them because of what their team is. And he looks good in black already, so it's fine.
That's fair.
So it's just going to be an interesting thing for them. But I really like Sam Darnold to the Steelers because I think that if someone's going to set him straight and throw out his potential like we saw at the beginning of the season this year is Mike Tomlin.
It could be, yeah. He's very easily.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like dude won football games with Mason fucking Rudolph at quarterback. Anything's possible, dude.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, Steelers are. That's easily my hottest take. Maybe my second.
That is a hot take. That's a hot take. That's a hot take. I like it though. This isn't even close. That the Deshaun Watson is not low. This is so low on my hot take list.
Yeah.
It's great. It's gonna be fun, dude. Oh man, South.
All right,
let's get to the South.
I think the South is a little boring for me.
Mine's not.
I think there is one lock.
Oh, mine's not. There is one lock, and it's Trevor Lawrence.
Yes, Trevor Lawrence.
That's it.
Because there's no way they bail on him in year two. Sorry.
No. Of course not. Especially with all the
theoretically
with Urban Meyer
talented.
and everything, it's ridiculous. No. He
He's
deserves
way
a second
too-
chance
he's
for sure.
way
And
too
he didn't even have his team.
theoretically talented. Yes.
Travis Etienne wasn't even playing this year. They're gonna be fine.
Yeah. So yeah, I think the Jags stick to Trevor Lawrence, and then
Indy.
the other three genuinely could go a lot of different directions. Do you want to go
I'm
Indy?
excited. Yeah, Indy, I'm keeping Wentz. I think he's making too much money. He's very untradeable. It's very hard. Eagles were very smart to get rid of him when they did. I think Carson's going to stay. I actually think Carson's going to have a decent year this next year. I think the Colts are going to make the playoffs because their defense is so good.
I also have Carson Wentz staying in Indy because
It just doesn't make sense.
It's the
for
same
him to
reason.
leave.
They're not in a position to move off of Wentz.
No. And they have a lot of young talent that don't need to get paid a lot of money today.
Mm-hmm.
So they're okay to keep Wentz. And I think Wentz is a serviceable quarterback for what their team does. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think the Texans is probably the most screwy situation. Do you want to say that for last?
Texans is really screwy, and no, I don't, because my next one is fun.
Okay, your Titans is fun?
My Titans is fun.
Okay, because I'm not confident in my answer, but my answer is not fun. So
I'm not too confident, but it's hot.
okay, so then let's go with the Texans. Who you have in the Texans?
Well, I had Deshaun Watson going to the Dolphins. In the swap, Tua becomes the starter over in Houston.
Okay, that's reasonable. I have them rolling with Davis Mills. Just keep
That
it
makes
going.
sense. That makes sense. I think Mills isn't bad. I think it's
He
fun.
isn't bad. I think they ride him for another year.
You don't think Tyrod Taylor would be the starter there? Or you think he's going to be a backup somewhere?
I don't know. Let's hold on to that name.
We'll see. Oh, I see. Titans! I want you to kick this one off. Who's your Titans quarterback
Ryan
next
Tannehill.
year? Okay.
It's the boring answer, but I tried I thought so long about this. I'm like, I looked this up. I'm like, okay, what quarterbacks' contracts are up? And it's like Ryan Tannehill would need to be traded, which means somebody has to want Ryan Tannehill.
Yes. We're
And I
looking
don't know
at
who
a
would.
Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford situation over here in
Okay,
Tennessee,
so you're
boys.
talking like a 1-for-1?
And a pick.
Well, of course, but yeah.
I'd like to introduce you former MVP, Matty Ice, coming to Tennessee.
You know, I don't hate that.
That is
don't hate
honestly heat. If Matt Ryan comes over here, dude's gonna have so many weapons.
He's gonna have Julio.
a good O line. He's gonna have Derrick fucking Henry. He's gonna have Julio back. His defense is good. Oh, I love the
I
Tennessee
don't
pick.
hate that.
I want him there so bad. After I was going through it, I was like, man, Tannehill for Ryan and a pick. Please do it now. We saw what happened in the playoffs. They needed someone that isn't going to throw 3 interceptions and choke them the game. Obviously, Matt Ryan choked freaking Super Bowl, but dude's an MVP. Dude has a cannon. It's a different story because his defense is probably not going to choke 25 points.
Who's giving up the pick in this situation?
The Falcons? The Titans.
The Titans are giving up a pick. Okay, so
the Titans have to give up a pick in this situation because I think Tannehill is worse than Matt Ryan.
Okay.
And the Falcons probably aren't going to want to move off of Matt Ryan unless that is the deal, in my opinion.
They don't have I don't think this is the year to. I think my opinion, I think the Falcons are going to draft a round 2 quarterback.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to ride Matt Ryan for a year.
I think that's okay too. And I think that's perfectly acceptable. Makes perfect sense. But oh my God, I really want him to go to Tennessee.
Need to make a move in this draft and go get a premier edge rusher.
What I think, they need.
So I think my opinion, to spoil my South a little bit, which is easily my most fucked up division in this league. I have Matty Ice just staying in Atlanta. I have Ryan Tannehill staying in Tennessee.
Which makes sense. Makes perfect sense.
Yes.
I love the swap. Just saying.
Yeah, it's a hot pick. I like it.
That's a hot pick, and it's a fun hot pick. That is a fun pick, too.
Yes.
All right, we're heading to the AFC West in the last division in the AFC. There are two for sure. Chiefs, Chargers, Herbert and Mahomes are staying put. There's no questions.
I think Raiders gets weird.
Raiders is weird for me. Broncos is nuts. Okay. Let's kick it off with the Raiders. I think that's the smart thing here.
I agree, because Broncos is going to be the hottest one. Let's be honest.
Who's your Raiders?
I think they ride Derek Carr.
Okay. I don't. I think I think Derek Carr wants something more, or he's gonna get shipped off, and the Raiders go in rebuild mode because of everything that happened last season. What I think they're going to do is they're going to try to get off of Derek Carr's contract, get a pick or 2 out of it. I'm not telling you where I'm shipping him off to because that hasn't come up yet. But I think they're gonna re-sign Marcus Mariota for a year and ride him out for the year.
Okay, I don't hate that.
In a rebuild mode because with everything that happened this last season, I think they as much as they made the playoffs and had talent and all that stuff. They still feel like they're a rebuild team. I don't feel like they're contending for a Super Bowl.
I think the Raiders are also a team in the Trubisky clause right now too.
Also, same thing. Like that's why I have
Possibly.
them Mariota because he's already there. You know what I mean?
The Raiders just hired Josh McDaniels, which we didn't get to talk about, by the way. Fuck that bullshit. That made me mad.
Well, that's because we don't care.
Because that's former Denver Broncos head coach Josh McDaniels, and that dude's a bum. And it just feels dirty that he's coaching the Raiders now. It's just like it's weird.
Well, it's okay. He's literally a placement coach. He's gonna be there for like 2 years and get fired.
Yeah, in a perfect.
Raiders are gonna suck.
I hope. That's the dream.
And then they're gonna hire Gruden emails.
Yes. So with a coaching change, I don't think you can afford a quarterback change. I think they just ride Derek Carr. However, this is my second candidate for a Matt Stafford, Jared Goff-esque, Matt Ryan Tannehill apparently-esque 1-for-1 trade. But I'm not going to mention it now because it's going to happen later.
Okay.
But I think
we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, so I'm going to re-bring up the Raiders once that happens. And say
I am also going to re-bring up the Raiders in mine. It's not a 1-for-1, but it's like if they don't trade a quarterback in this situation,
clearly, if you're saying Marcus Mariota, they're moving off Carr and just promoting Mariota.
Yes. But
okay.
They're gonna get someone in return, and I think this is also a potential starter in this situation.
Yes.
So it's like this person, but could also be the person that's potentially backing them up, depending on the scenario.
Yes. Okay.
Broncos.
That takes us to Denver.
Yeah. I mean,
honestly, Denver,
I want it. You want it. I have Aaron Rodgers here, dude. I want him there so bad. He needs to leave.
You have no fucking idea how nuts that would be. Denver is, in my opinion, the weirdest spot right now for an NFL quarterback to play.
Yes, but could be one of the best spots if they're
I think that also comes from my Broncos bias, knowing that we've had like 11 different starters since Peyton Manning retired and have made the playoffs 0 times.
Right. You guys would probably make it if you get Aaron Rodgers.
We would definitely make it if we have Aaron Rodgers. And I literally on my list, I have Aaron Rodgers in parentheses, please.
That makes sense.
That's the dream come true.
Yeah,
I would love to have Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, exactly.
But as much as it hates me to say this, this is a team in the Trubisky clause.
Yeah, I agree with that statement too.
And I hate that. You want to know why they're a team in the Trubisky clause? Because they always fucking are. Because they're a team in the Teddy Bridgewater clause, and the Case Keenum clause, and the Joe Flacco clause. It's that Mitch Trubisky, just the most recent MVP. That's not Dakota Prescott. So like,
yeah, exactly.
He's the next screw up in Denver, I guess. If it's not Aaron Rodgers,
or it's Aaron Rodgers,
fingers crossed.
He wins them a Super Bowl because that team is insane. Outside of the quarterback position.
If Aaron Rodgers is on the Broncos, the AFC West is nuts.
Yeah,
with the Chargers and Chiefs and the Raiders, who I don't think are a walkover.
No, especially if they keep Carr. I think Carr is a very good quarterback. I don't think he's bad. So, we'll see.
Okay. So that's the
NFC.
You want to start in the East?
We will start in the East because that's the first one. Dakota Prescott is 100% a lock.
There's a lock in the East. It's Dakota Prescott. There's a 99%er, in my opinion. Mr. Hurts.
Yeah, they did come out and say that he was their guy.
Yes.
But with 3 first-round picks, I mean,
I don't think you blow any of them on a quarterback. The Eagles are going to be too busy drafting 3 wide receivers. I'm sorry.
No, we're going to be too busy drafting 3 defensive players, I hope. 2 defensive players and a wide receiver, maybe. But, like, we need an edge rusher because our edge rushers are getting old, and we need a linebacker. Yeah. That's it. Or I wouldn't even be mad if they did that and then drafted, like, a safety or a corner. Like, straight up, we're fine. And then, like, the 2nd, 3rd round, pick up a receiver.
Yeah.
But what I think they do is they either take those 2 picks and then trade one of them for Ridley or something, or pick up. There's been talks about Godwin because he's a free agent.
Who's the other one I heard? Juju.
Yeah, Juju too. But yeah, I don't really care about Juju that much. I'd rather have Godwin or Ridley first. Okay. I wouldn't be mad if we got Juju, but like, I'd be upset if we had the option of getting Godwin and we got Juju instead. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. I think these next 2. One of them's a huge question mark. The other one's a little bit of a question mark.
Oh well, yeah, no, yeah.
Who's going to be
I'm going to go New York first.
Okay.
I'm going to go New York first. I think Daniel Jones stays. I think they're going to ride him out the year. I think this is last. This is it. They just got a new coach. We're talking about situations where you can't afford can't afford a big change. I think this is one of them. They have a good receiving core. They have a solid receiving core. They got solid pieces around them. They just need to stay healthy. The biggest problem over there in New York is staying healthy. Right, this last season. So I hope Daniel Jones does show why he's at least somewhat good. He's not bad. Like he has moments, he has flashes, but his O-line sucks. So if they give him an O-line and maybe bolster up the defense, the team becomes good. So we'll see. But I ride up Daniel Jones. I think we ride.
You ready for my Stafford Goff trade?
Oh shit! New York?
New York.
Jones for Carr?
Russell Wilson to New York.
Oh shit!
I think you get 1-for-1. New York trades one of their first rounders this year to Seattle,
they have two.
Who does not have a first round pick.
Oh
plus Daniel Jones for Russell Wilson.
Oh man, that's a good deal.
So yeah, I have Russell Wilson in New York.
Because I don't hate it.
Well, let's
I
think
hate
about
it as an Eagles fan, but I don't hate it as like a trade. That's logic.
An average receiving core, an average defense, and a terrible O-line. It's basically the Seahawks.
I wouldn't say the Seahawks have a little bit better than an average wide receiver core. They have freaking Tyler Lockett and DK.
It's basically the Seahawks, but in the biggest market in the league.
That's crazy.
So yeah,
I would hate that as an Eagles fan. We always lose to Russell Wilson.
Yeah, so there's my big blockbuster trade. Russell
That's
Wilson.
Your big. That's your big one.
That's my big one.
I mean, I don't have Russell in Seattle either. I have him getting traded as well, but like,
yeah, if he's not in New York and we haven't said the team at this point, I think I know where he's going for you.
I don't think you do though.
I think I do.
We'll see. Cross that bridge when we get there.
Okay, I'm gonna mouth the words now so that the viewers know that I'm a prophet. Okay.
Okay, and then when I'm in editing, I'll put some words behind it. See, I'll put like captions or something.
Okay.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. That's a good deal. I'm not even mad about that. Yeah, I mean the Seahawks to me are in like rebuild mode, but Russell Wilson was also hurt, so it's like, is Pete Carroll leaving? Like, what's the deal here? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay. Who's the first ever quarterback of the Washington Commanders?
Taylor Heineke is traded with a pick to the Las Vegas Raiders for Derek Vehicle.
Oh, okay.
That is where I have Derek Vehicle.
I don't hate that.
Yeah. God, could you imagine if both those trades go through and we get Derek and Russell Wilson with Dak and Jalen? Jalen becomes the worst quarterback in his division after being the second best just that fast.
So,
holy crap, dude.
This one was
then
the
I'm like,
stupidest
I'd be in the mode where I'd be like, fuck it. Go get Watson right now. Go do it. Screw it. Screw the presses.
Washington's not in a spot to go get a big name quarterback right now. They don't have the team
to
do that. I don't think they have the magnetism for somebody like Russell Wilson or Aaron Rodgers or Deshaun Watson.
But Derek Carr, they certainly would have the magnetism for. And the reason I say this one is because he is perfect for this team. He is like I feel like he's perfect, and they have good receivers. Like Scary Terry's pretty solid, and then like their running back core isn't terrible. They need to work on your O-line because that's what the NFC apparently outside of the Cowboys and the Eagles, the freaking NFC has an issue with having good freaking O-lines. But yeah, so I would love to see. I'd love to see Derek in a Commander's jersey next year because we know he looks good in black. So
right, yeah, that alternate, okay, clean, sure. This is the Trubisky Claus team.
Yes, absolutely. This is 100%. If it wasn't Carr,
no, I put a handful of names into a wheel and spun that shit.
No way. What was the wheel? What did the wheel come up with?
With Andy Dalton.
I don't hate it. I love it.
That's exactly
I actually love that.
Right. It's like I could have said any of the Trubisky Clausers, and you'd be like, okay, that makes sense.
Well, that's because how Washington is. That's literally Washington's MO.
That's their whole shtick. So
they just go get random dudes and play them.
This could be Mitch. This could be Teddy. This could be Tyrod. This could be anybody. And Andy Dalton, lucky him, gets the starting spot for Washington.
All of them are going to go to Washington, sign, and compete for the pick. Or for the starter role.
Can you imagine just like a
gauntlet? The quarterbacks.
A training camp of a bunch of backups, and you're just like, all right, we're picking the best of the worst.
All right, guys, so we need one of you.
Right,
so
like Washington
out.
would have the 32, 33, 34, 35, and 36th best quarterbacks in the league on their roster.
What a hell of a QB room, let me tell you.
Right? Oh my God.
And then
Yep.
they're gonna realize that they messed up and trade that person for Garner Minshew.
Right? Yeah. Oh, maybe I like that more than Andy.
I'm just saying, Garner Minshew's kind of funny. I don't actually have him starting anywhere, and I did before, and I felt bad because I was like, I can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I spun Andy Dalton for Washington. That's what they get.
All right. Okay. Sounds good. North.
All right. The North. I don't think has
no
any
locks.
locks, but I feel like
There's no locks.
has like a bunch of 90%ers.
Yeah. Like, I think the Bears have Justin Fields.
The
Like,
Bears
I
ride
don't
Justin
think-
Fields. The only reason they wouldn't is because if the coach wanted to trade him Josh Rosen-esque,
Yeah.
which would be miserable.
Yeah.
But I think if it did happen, this is potentially candidate number 3 for a 1-for-1 for Russell Wilson.
I agree. I think
It's
Justin Fields for
Chicago.
Russell Wilson is a good idea there.
Because what are the Bears? They're basically the Seahawks.
Yep.
It's the same fucking team.
Yep.
Okay. I think the Lions ride Jared Goff.
Yeah, I don't see why not. I think
He's
he was
young
perfect
enough.
for that team. I think he was perfect for that team last year.
He's
Yeah,
young
like-
enough, and the Lions need more help than quarterback.
Much more. And I think
Like,
Jared Goff is
I
serviceable.
think
Dude
they're-
went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
Like,
they're happy having who was probably like the 22nd-ish best quarterback in the league. You know,
Right, exactly.
They're happy with that.
Yeah, they're chill. They're not
Yeah,
tripping.
they ride Goff.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming since both of us have Rodgers to the Broncos,
Packers
you're
have
gonna
Jordan
have
Love starting.
Jordan Love here for the Packers.
Yeah,
yes.
makes no
I mean, it's
sense.
about time.
Right. Yeah, it makes perfect sense.
And
I don't see why not.
this is the one I had the longest time with.
I did. I want you to know I had Kirk Cousins going to Atlanta. I had Kirk Cousins going to Tampa. I had Kirk Cousins going to Miami. I had Kirk Cousins going to Tennessee. I was like, why would you trade for Kirk Cousins? Tannehill's better than Kirk Cousins. Like that was my mindset. I had him going to San Francisco. Like, dude, I had him going everywhere, and I was like, dude, where the fuck is Kirk Cousins gonna go?
Minnesota.
Yeah, he's staying in Minnesota. There's no way they could trade off that contract. After
See,
I
for
read
a lo-
everything and was going through it, I was like, there's just no way he leaves.
Pre Andy Dalton wheel. I
Yeah.
had Kirk Cousins in Washington because I'm like, I could just see Kirk Cousins in a Washington jersey.
I could too.
And then I realized why.
Yeah. Why are they gonna go get him? For what reason?
They wouldn't.
Exactly.
They
Taylor
literally
Heineke
already-
might perform better with that roster
They
than freaking
literally
Kirk Cousins.
already
will.
had Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
I'm like, Kirk Cousins to Washington makes so much sense. And then I realized
he's already been there.
because it's too good to be true.
Yeah.
It's because it makes no sense at all. See, I have Kirk
Yeah.
Cousins staying in Minnesota.
Same.
There's no reason
Yeah.
for him to not.
Makes no sense for him to leave.
Yep.
Perfect. Yeah. Wow.
Okay.
I think this is the one we 100% agreed on.
I think the only one so far.
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Nice. Good job, us.
Well, let's break the. We already know this is broken.
Oh,
because
this
you
is
have
about to be
Ryan Tannehill in
broken
Atlanta.
as shit. This is about to be broken as shit.
Yeah.
I got 4 different starters than what they were last year.
I have. Yeah, I don't want to
Yeah.
spoil that because I think that spoils it. I don't want
The
to.
South is nuts.
The South is fucked up.
We'll
So
start with the Falcons.
We'll start
with
with
the
Atlanta
Falcons.
because we already know that you have Tannehill. And
I
have
put
Matt Ryan.
Tannehill in the swap. And you
Yes,
had who?
so-
Matt
Matt
Ryan. Yes,
still.
we knew that.
They're writing Matt Ryan.
Yes. We'll go in order, I guess, because these are all going to be fun, I guess, in a way. I think we go Carolina next because I feel like Carolina is the least fun.
Yeah, I agree. Probably the least fun.
I have Desmond
because-
Ridder
I
starting.
think it's the least fun because of what you think. So you think they're going with the rookie?
I think they're going to pick up Desmond Ridder,
Okay.
dude from Cincy, and he's going to start. It's
Okay.
that or Cam Newton, or it's either that or Cam Newton's going to start, but Desmond's going to get drafted by the Panthers. My mindset. I think
Okay.
that's a good.
I think we're in the
that's a
same
good
idea.
start.
I think they use their first overall pick on a rookie quarterback.
Yeah,
but
Desmond Ridder.
None of these rookies are like last year's rookies, where
No, absolutely not.
Zach Wilson was probably going to start in New York.
Trevor Lawrence was
probably
going to
gonna
start. Mac Jones was going to start.
Yeah, like
Absolutely. We knew that.
So I think they do go get a quarterback, and I think they have a lame duck guy to sit in there for like probably the first 6 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And who's better than at that than Tyrod Taylor?
I was saying Cam Newton is the mindset for the Panthers. Leave him for like a few weeks, and then start Desmond Ritter once he's like after a little bit.
I think Cam would throw a fit about that.
Probably.
It happened to him last year. So I
Well,
think
he just got
I
cut.
think
He
I
didn't really
think-
have an option.
But I think he caused more trouble than it's worth.
True, and I could see that, and
So,
I think
yeah.
Tyrod Taylor is a good fit for
Yeah,
that too.
I said go get Tyrod because
Yeah,
you little risk in doing so.
yeah, it makes sense.
And I mean, he's the dude who Justin Herbert, Baker, if you want to go back even further, technically Josh Allen, but not really. Because that was technically Nathan Peterman, I believe.
No.
And potentially Davis Mills is
Yeah.
the next Tyrod Taylor prodigy.
Yeah, that would make sense.
So if
We'll
there's
see.
anybody who I think they could trust to be the quarterback for 6 weeks and train the next guy, I would pick Tyrod.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Yep. So I have Tyrod Taylor to Carolina.
That makes sense. Yeah, I have Desmond Ritter as the starter. I think
Realistically, this could be any of the Trubisky's.
Yeah.
Trubiskyers.
the Trubisky clause.
I like Jacoby Brissett to Carolina too.
Yeah, that's not a bad one either.
Okay. Well,
Tampa
who's hotter for you, Buccos or Saints?
The Saints.
Okay, that's what I thought.
I think they're both pretty. I feel like they're both
basically
hot, but they're
that
they're
basically
not.
confirms my theory.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay. Who's going to Tampa? This one's hot for me, but some tells me we said the same thing.
I feel like it's hot, but it's not as hot as I feel like it is mentally. And I think the Tom Brady prodigy, Jimmy G, is heading over back to Tampa Bay.
I said the same thing.
Yeah, like it makes so much sense.
It makes too much sense.
It's like perfect.
Who's better to replace Tom Brady than Tom Brady's replacement?
Right, like it's like perfect.
It makes too much sense to send Jimmy G to Tampa.
And I think it's such a good roster too. I wonder if they go get Jimmy G, is that a selling point for Rob Gronkowski to stay for another year? I don't think it's going to be, but it would be interesting because
If
that would
Jimmy
be.
G
They still have
doesn't go-
OJ Howard, right? Like he's still there. Tight ends.
Yes,
OJ
they do.
Howard.
I was thinking of Jared.
Yeah, he's
Cook.
solid.
Because Jared Cook isn't in
Yeah,
New Orleans anymore.
yeah. OJ Howard's solid, so it's not like they're losing
not
a lot in
screwed.
Gronk, but I don't know if they're gonna keep Godwin. Mike Evans is still gonna be there. They're just it's gonna be a weird team, but I think Jimmy G's perfect for this team.
Move off of like.
They got a lot of money to think about because that team wasn't cheap. So I think Jimmy G is perfect for this team.
Yep.
Saints. I mean, you already know. The viewers probably know.
Yeah, I said it with my own mouth.
Yeah. All right. This is my fun 1-for-1. I think that the Matt Ryan Tannehill one is kind of spicy. I think this one's a little spicier. I think the Saints send over Jameis Winston and like a pick or two to the Seahawks for Mr. Russell Wilson. I think Mike Thomas sees that, gets happy, and plays.
I think it all depends on who's going to be the quarterback in New Orleans or the coach in New Orleans.
Yeah, I can see that. All right, Pete Carroll's getting fired. Guess where he's going? New Orleans. Time. It's time.
Maybe.
Kidding. I really do think I think that's a good deal for the Saints. I do like New York a lot better though after you've said it.
Yeah. It's too much fun. I'm sorry.
New Orleans had a winning season.
Mm-hmm.
Squeaked out of the playoffs because they lost to the Eagles.
Yeah.
That's basically what happened. They lost the tiebreaker. That's what it came down to. They can compete to win their division next year if they can go out and get someone like Russell Wilson because of Tom Brady retiring.
Yeah. I mean, realistically, on paper right now, who's the best team in the South?
I don't know.
It's Atlanta, I feel like.
It's Atlanta, technically.
It sucks to say that.
That's why I think they
Atlanta.
might keep Matt Ryan, but I would love to. I feel like they're going to be in rebuild mode for some reason. I don't know why I keep thinking like I feel like they're going to move off of Ridley. Like they keeps like everything points to, hey, let's leave the team. Let's figure this out. So I don't know, but I really like Russell Wilson in New Orleans. Who do you have as the Saints quarterback?
They ride famous Jameis.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
He was hurt. He didn't really get a chance.
This honestly might be the one I'm most confident in the South is Jameis.
I don't know what I'm confident in the South.
And you can look at mine afterwards, which you pretty much probably know the rest of mine. But I have them color coordinated by confidence level.
Oh, that's funny. I definitely know 3 of your next 4. I don't know what your last one is. Oh, it's probably no. We already have Russell Wilson. Oh, it's Daniel Jones. That's
yes.
Okay,
yeah.
because the trade. So I think I know the rest of them. So you probably know the rest of mine at this point because
theoretically, yeah. So
theoretically.
So yeah, the West, we probably both have Lock Kyler Murray.
Lock and Stafford. No questions asked. Those two
probably
are
have
for
like
sure
a
there.
90% or 99% or even Trey Lance.
Yeah, because they're definitely moving off of Jimmy G. It's Trey Lance's time to shine.
Yes.
They drafted him for a reason. Let him shine.
Yeah, and then we both have in Seattle the consequences of our actions.
Yeah, the trade. So famous Jameis is heading to Seattle.
I have Danny Dimes going to
and
Seattle.
There you go. Yeah.
Look at us,
Jameis,
couple nickname boys up in the Pacific Northwest.
yeah, crazy. Seattle is definitely in rebuild mode.
Yes.
I'm sorry to say it. They need to.
With how competitive the West is right now, this is a great time to do it.
It's
because
weird
they're
because
not going to compete
they
in the
have
West
good
against
talent.
the Niners, Cardinals, nor Rams right now.
Yeah, and like the Niners and Rams were just in the NFC Championship game. The Cardinals made the playoffs. Like they were dominant for a long period of time at the beginning of this year. The Seahawks are weird because I think that they have talent, but they have sporadic talent. Like DK Metcalf is a menace to society. He is insane. Tyler Lockett's a good football player. Russell Wilson's obviously a great football player. But then what else do they have? Like Chris Carson's I can't even think of anything else that they have on that team. Like their defense isn't great. It's not terrible, but it's not like great.
It's basically the Giants.
Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I'm excited for QB carousel. I promise you, if any of those trades that we named go through, we're feeling great.
I'm a god.
I swear to God, if Matt Ryan and Tannehill get swapped,
You're a god.
the Ryan for Ryan trade,
Honestly,
I'm here for it.
I think my god vote is if Russell Wilson's in New York and if Deshaun Watson is in Pittsburgh.
Those are honestly kind of nuts.
Because those are the hot. I think those are the two hottest ones I had.
Those are pretty hot. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm here for it, dude. I'm here for it. I really hope the Ryan for Ryan trade happens, dude. After seeing it, I'm like, man, could you imagine Matt Ryan in Tennessee, dude?
The Matt Ryan Tannehill trade?
Oh man, yeah, that'd be so much fun. Oh, that'd be so much fun because Falcons, I don't know why they like the South sucks. So even if they get like some terrible people, because that they could probably still win the division. Like, you know what I mean?
Realistically, yeah.
It's like the NFC East that one year where everyone went like 6-10.
Yeah.
2 years ago. Wasn't that long ago.
No, it's very possible.
But yeah, so that's my takes on those. These are fun.
Well, it's a good time to wrap up because I'm hearing weird noises outside my door.
Yeah, I'm also hearing my dog sprint into Narnia.
So this is a perfect time to wrap up.
Yeah, so that is all from us. Thank you guys so much for listening or watching wherever you guys are watching this. Hopefully on YouTube, so you can hit that like button and subscribe if you're new. With that, we're going to get up out of here. Thank you so much for watching this episode of Behind the Plays. I am your host, Davion. That is my co-host, Eric, and we are out.
You got to say your thing, too.
I said we're out.
No, you said peace.
Peace. I'm sorry, guys.
See ya. That's your thing. You get mad at me for my thing? What the hell?